So, Taru, I know that there are many providers because we're out here trying to talk about how AI and technology can help benefit care delivery. Can you explain a little bit more to people listening what the ethical stand, what are the problems that we should avoid? Because we all know technology is good, but what are the ethical standards and what should we be watching out for? What makes for a good program?
Sure, absolutely. So I think where I'll start, especially after you've given us some very thoughtful comments from the clinical lens, I think I'd like to start high level and just, what is the current state of artificial intelligence in healthcare innovation? Why is it such a big topic? So I think I'm going to start there. So we are definitely in a significant moment when it comes to healthcare technology, specifically powered by AI. And by being aware and up to date on the implications, clinically, ethically, legally, we can ensure that we're putting patients at the center of our care, as you described, NJ, which is obviously the MVP for all of us. AI is a term that's applied to machine or software, and it refers to the technology's capability of simulating intelligent human behavior, which includes instantaneous calculations, problem solving, and evaluation of new data based on previously assessed data, which is what we mean by generative AI. And as you mentioned, NJ, AI applications in healthcare have literally changed the medical field, including imaging, electronic medical records, EMR, lab diagnoses, treatment, augmenting the intelligence of physicians and providers in a variety of different settings, new drug discovery, providing preventative and precision medicine, biological extensive data analyses, speeding up processes, data storage, and access for health organizations at large. So AI and generative AI are creating massive efficiencies for providers and patients alike. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Craig for some of his perspectives, not only from a legal standpoint, but why we should all be kind of sitting up and paying attention to this topic.
I'm going to start from a 10,000-foot perspective and a historical perspective, of course. So historically, the evolution of technology has been based on a concept or principle called Moore's Law. In 1965, Moore's Law was put forth by Gordon Moore. He was co-founder of Fairchild Semiconductor and Intel. Intel, he was the CEO of, and everyone knows or should know who Intel is, that has a computer, cell phone, PDA, anything. So Mr. Moore observed that the number of chips would double each year that would turn into double processing power. This is on a yearly basis from 1965. This law stayed pretty intact until 1975, when the law doubled to reflect that the doubling of chips per integrated circuit and doubling of the resulting processing power would move to every other year. Moore also established his second law, which was also known as Rock's Law, which states even though the size of the chips on the relevant integrated circuit are reduced and the processing power doubles, the cost of the physical plant and the necessary R&D related to the advancement increases exponentially over the same time period. The reason why this is important is it creates pricing issues, which are inevitably passed on the ultimate consumer, which is personal on a business model or the personal consumer. Staying with Moore, his laws are based fundamentally on the historical norms of manufacturing and supply chain principles, as well as basic economic and supply and demand considerations. There's always physical work necessary to maintain the underlying basis of Moore's Law. However, the explosion of AI, and I use AI to include generative AI as well, and machine learning, over the past year or so, these traditional considerations are becoming less of a factor to predict and forecast the increase of computing power and evolving technologies. As AI and machine learning are not customarily limited by these factors, these physical factors, as the processing manufacturing principles, due to the advancement of self-learning that's done internally and within the relevant AI machine learning systems. The elimination of these factors allow for the exponential increase in advancement of the capacity of the relevant AI and ML systems. That's assuming that the information fed into the AI and ML systems are accurate and factual. This requirement to effectively process information is being interfered with intentionally, specifically by the artistic community, and more about this upcoming on my next statement and probably future podcasts, specifically the Nightshade and Glaze programs that are being implemented by the University of Chicago.